Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to my channel. I am the Northener, and as you've seen from the opening once again, I'm back with another Evercade video. Same format. I'm going to say what I'm talking about after introducing the channel, show you what games are on here, get into some gameplay of some of the games, and then wrap it up. So without further ado, what are we actually talking about today? Well, we're talking about the cartridge that actually made me want to buy the system, really, and that is the Interplay cartridge, Collection 1. It's one of the ones that came with the premium pack, but again, it's one of the main ones that I wanted to get and play on the games. So without further ado then, let's get into what games are on here and get into some gameplay. Okay guys, so what games are actually on the Evercade then? On the Interplay Collection 1. So first up we have Battle Chess, which is an 8-bit chess simulator from 1988. We then have Boogerman, which is a 1995 16-bit platformer. This was one of the games that I really wanted to get back into playing. We have Clay Fighter, which is a 1993 16-bit fighting game. I seem to remember playing it on the SNES, but I can't really remember much about it. We have Earthworm Jim, a 1993 16-bit platformer. Everybody's aware of Earthworm Jim. Earthworm Jim obviously was a cartoon as well as this. We have Incantation, which is a 1996 16-bit platformer, and finally we have Titan, which is a 1988 8-bit puzzle game. So yeah, 6 games out of the 6. Boogerman and Earthworm Jim were what I wanted to get into. So yeah, that's the 6 games on there. Hopefully this will be shorter with there only being 6 games, but let's roll some gameplay footage. Okay, so here we are with Battle Chess from 1988. I know how to play chess. I'm not sure how hard it is going to be against the computer on here. The AI on here. The chess game itself, it's a little bit primitive. It's a bit slow, but then again, it's not too bad by the looks of things. I'm not going to obviously make you watch me play a full game of chess. Do some opening gambits and see what happens. But yeah, it's a good game. Chess is a good game. Even I don't know about this as such, but yeah, it's didn't want that. Let's move you to there. Yeah, it's slow. I'm going to get it to a stage where I can potentially take a piece and we'll see what the battle's like, and then we'll move on to the next game. It may take some time though. If anybody knows which system this came from originally, if you want to hit me up in the comments. I imagine it was something like the Amiga or a Commodore of some description. Where are you going? You'll take me there, that's fine. To sacrifice a piece in a minute just to get it to the stage where we have the piece taken. So let's take this pawn with my knight. So he gives me the space, or do they actually fight? Who knows? So we go into a little battle here. You don't seem to do anything with this from what I can see, because obviously you're taking the pawn anyway, and that's pretty much that. That's the battle in Battle Chess. So his knight should take me now, I would have thought. Yep. Get back into this other battle and then I'll move on. it could be doing with being a bit faster, I will admit, but I imagine that was the limitations of the system in the 80s. There's no way of speeding this up, I don't think. I can pause it, but I can't speed it up. Tis but a scratch. Shame it's not the Black Knight, but yeah, for those Monty Python fans out there. Yeah, so we will go on to the next game. Okay, the next game up is Titan by Titus Software. You can't skip these credits. Let's see what this is about. I know what it's about, but I'll show you guys what it's about. Let's play the original mode, new game, level 1. So my understanding of it is you break these blocks. You control this, you can stop the ball in certain places. It's essentially like a semi-breakout, a semi-Arkanoid type game, but not. And there we go, that's the first level, and that's pretty much the sum total of it. Each one gives you a password. I don't know, I've not noted them down, but each password lets you go back to the level that you've just played. Obviously I'm not going to do it on level 2, but yeah, you essentially move the ball around and break blocks. This one seems to have multiple hits, and then I don't know, I'm assuming it's going to get harder and harder as I go along. I've not really played much on this other than what pretty much you're seeing now. It's a funnish puzzle game. I think it's the best. I much prefer Breakout, if I'm honest, or Arkanoid. But yeah, I can see the appeal in it, and you know, it's not the worst puzzle game in the world. I'm just not the best at it. Go down. But yeah, it's playable. So yeah, with that, I'll move on to the next game. So we're back again with, this time, Incantation. So this is the one that I wanted to show more than the sort of Earthworm Jim, because the likelihood is people will have played Earthworm Jim and they'll have played Clay Fighter, but maybe not so much this. It's a nice little puzzle, nice little platformer. It's very colourful. You play as a wizard, you've got enemies that fly at you, and then this teleports me to somewhere to get a load of collectibles and coins. Collect all the coins, get to the end of the level, and then what the hell? You try not to die. Oh, I should have used oh well. I've got a bolt now. I don't know how many of these bolts you get. Fireball even. So yeah, it's a decent enough little platformer. Much better than that hot garbage I was showing on the Switch video I did the other day. This is actually a decent platformer with decent graphics. In fact, the graphics are miles better than they were on that plug and play thing. So yeah, it's a good little platformer. Quite like it. I played a bit more of it the other day. This is just me showing off the first level. So yeah, it's a decent enough game. It's just hard to judge. I don't think you can actually kill them. I think you've got to jump over them, or jump into them like I've just done. So yeah, ultimately though, it's not bad. get it. It's not going to be great by what you would call modern standards, but the game is 27 years old, so you know, I'm quite liking. I like it. It's a good game. This is the first boss, I think. No. And if you're too close, ideally you should stand in the middle of the map, and then he jumps to the middle of the map. It gives you room to burst those bubbles and then stand back in the middle of the map. But yeah, I'm not going to spoil how to play the game. You can see for yourself. It's a platformer. It's not vastly difficult. So yeah, there we go. That's the last of the games I'm gonna show you the gameplay for. Let's cut back to live and talk about what my thoughts are on this cartridge. So that was a sample of some of the gameplay on there. Again, I didn't want to show off Boogerman and Clay Fighter and Earthworm Jim. They were big enough games, you know, in their time. So I thought I would show the other three games off. So what are my final thoughts on this cartridge? Well, what's my favourite game on there? Now, I went into it thinking it would have been Earthworm Jim or Boogerman, but it is actually Incantation. Incantation is a pretty cool little platformer. It's got equal parts difficulty to platforming. It gets hard, obviously, as you would expect. It gets harder as you go on, but the game itself is a really good little game. If they released it digitally for any of the more modern consoles, I would buy it. And then my worst game on this cartridge, as much as I like chess, I would probably have to say Battle Chess, purely because it just plays really slowly. I imagine that's the game itself rather than the system. But yeah, Battle Chess would have to be my worst game on there. So out of 5, I would probably put this at about a 3. There's only 6 games on it. Granted, those 6 games are pretty good in terms of Earthworm Jim, Clay Fighter, Boogerman and Incantation. Even to a degree, Titan is pretty good. But I can't go any higher than that 3, because if there was more games on there, then I would possibly say, yeah, it deserves a 4, upwards. If I was going to go for half points, I would probably give it a 3.5 out of 5. But I want to stop doing the half points with these. So I've got to go with a 3, which isn't to say that it's bad. It's just not great. For something to get a 5, every game would have to be excellent for me. For sake of something to get, a 1, every game would have to be awful. So I'm always going to sit somewhere in the middle of those, unless any of these cartridges hit that. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the Interplay cartridge. All that's left for me to do is thank you for watching. I've been the Northener, and I'll catch you on the next one.